It appears that Gonzaga has been in talks with the Big 12 about joining the conference. Because last week, Gonzaga's athletic director met in person with Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark as discussions to join the Big 12. Their discussions are part of the possibility of a seismic move in college basketball. Like powerhouse leaving the West Coast Conference to a power conference.
Well, I mean, if you're being honest, the West Coast Conference, besides Gonzaga, BYU, and St. Mary's, they're not as good as some other conferences in America here.
So I totally understand on why they want to do that. They were in Frisco, Texas, at the Hyatt. At the Hyatt, like while Gonzaga was in the area, playing Tennessee in a scrimmage, according to sources. Sources indicate that Gonzaga has been exploring its conference options as it's emerged as a premier basketball program. In the entire country, both the Pac-12 and Big East have been engaged with the Gonzaga, according to sources, but the extent of those conversations are uncertain. Of course, we know what happened. Yeah, the Big East doesn't have football anymore. But, Gonzaga has played in the West Coast Conference as a mid-major that Gonzaga has consistently dominated as it has grown into the top programs in the sport. The school has been transparent with the West Coast Conference about its discussions. The Big 12 targeting as a potential addition, Gonzaga as a potential addition to bolster its basketball conference isn't a surprise. Well, they're one of the best teams in the country. As the conference has been regarded in recent years as a top conference in basketball. And I got stats to prove that the last 4 full seasons, except that 2019-2020 year, the Big 12 is the best. So, yeah. Of course, the last 2 national champions have come to the Big 12, a semifinalist in 2019 in Texas Tech. It would be a massive shift, of course, landscape-wise, because, that Gonzaga has played in the 2017 national title game and of course, the 2021 year as well. And they've been a 1 seed the last 4 out of 5 years. Yormark has been open about the league's desire to expand. And he's spoken about adding a 4th time zone, which it would do that because they're in the state of Washington. And programs with the national cachet, the Big 12 and its TV partners Fox and ESPN are near agreement on a 6-year deal, and that includes a significant pay raise. How any potential payout would trickle down to a school without football is uncertain. But the idea of Gonzaga playing Kansas, Baylor, BYU, and Texas Tech in a league would be attractive.
And let's not forget about Houston now on this article here. Come on. Houston's good too. You got to add them to the conversation. Those would be great games.
I don't know about BYU in the future, but, those would be for sure good games. And it would be attractive for the television partners. And the notion of this was brought up by this potential Gonzaga joining the Big 12 was brought up by the conference with its new television partners in a courtesy manner in conversations about the league's new TV deal. But the potential addition had nothing to do with the Big 12's final deal. So, I honestly think it would be good for the basketball, but I know the baseball program has made the last 3 out of 4 NCAA tournaments, but I don't know what other value do they really bring. I have done my research. Baseball, they were streaking up the league a little bit. I give them that. The basketball is the basketball. It's already good enough as is. And it's going to be an odd amount, but here's the deal. The ACC has an odd amount. too. Remember, they do. And I know in the American Conference, I know that's a totally different conference, but Wichita State doesn't have football. So they could be like the Wichita State of the Big 12 if they do join. I'm not sure about. I would rather go over get the Pac-12 schools more than Gonzaga. That's in my opinion, especially those four corner schools. I mean, Arizona, yeah, I mean, bring them on. Bring them. Arizona State, Colorado. I know Colorado doesn't bring any value, but TV market, I know the basketball programs have been better, are good, but the football program is bad. Of course, Gonzaga could also decide to bring back their football program back, which they haven't had for a long time. I believe it's back in 72 when they got rid of it. But I'm going to double check. Yeah, their football program went into hiatus in April 1942. And after the war, they decided not to resume it. So, yeah, they could always bring it back if they so desire. Because, one, they would have more money in their pocket to add that. And you know, football takes a lot of money, but it does help their cause and make more money as a program. But we'll wait and see on this. This is just a meeting here and nothing like they're going to the Big 12 or anything like that. And like I said, I prefer get Pac-12 schools before Gonzaga. I'm sorry. But if they bring them, I don't know what other. It's not like it's strengthening the basketball conference. I get it. But what else do they bring? Maybe besides a baseball program that's good? I mean, that's only 3 things. The women's basketball program is good too. I give them that. And I totally understand on why Gonzaga wants to get out of the West Coast Conference potentially. Because, honestly, their conference stinks. Outside of 3 teams. Consistently. Or it doesn't challenge them enough. Besides 2 other teams. They don't get challenged that much. They don't. And in order to be the best, you have to play the best. That might be their thinking here about a Gonzaga AD, but I don't know. We'll just wait and see down the line. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. That's going to be the 40 subscribers and more by the end of this issue or sometime in the future.